మా పిల్లలు జాయిన్ అవుతున్నారు సార్. Hello, sir.
Madam.
Sir, your voice is not audible.
Okay. Okay, very good afternoon, my dear friends. Welcome to today's session. On behalf of this online PG entrance coaching, CPGET 2022, Botany and Plant Sciences, my dear friends, today eminent resource person, Dr. Padaala, Assistant Professor, Department of Botany, Government Degree College, Autonomous Siddipet. Madam has huge experience in the area of plant physiology. So plant physiology is one of the most important area in our plant sciences, botany. So our botany CPGET 2022 contain two sections, section A and section B. So section B compared to section A, more marks. Plant physiology, it belongs to section 2. Okay, so madam is going to explain one of the important area regarding of this during this class. If you have any doubt, please chat in the or post in the chat box during the class. Okay, madam, please start your session and share your screen.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Very good afternoon, my dear students. So, sir said almost. Today we are going to discuss about the plant physiology, especially photosynthesis. So today we are going to discuss about the plant photosynthesis. So sir gives me only two topics. That first one is the photosynthesis and second one is the respiration. So almost these all are very important for entrance point of view. Just now I will share the screen now. Sir, is it okay, sir?
Okay, it is visible, madam. It is visible, but
okay.
possible, please.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay. So the photosynthesis, almost all the students, you know that the basic and what is the importance of photosynthesis. All animals, including human beings. So these all are depend on plants for their food. So we know that. Have you ever wondered from where plants get their food? So the green plants, in fact, they have to make or rather synthesize the food, then need and the all other organisms depend on them for their needs. So in that way, what is the photosynthesis? So it is the process by which plants, especially some bacteria, they can use the energy from sunlight to produce sugar. So which they all are the cellular respiration converted into ATP. So in this generally, the photosynthesis means almost, you know that the equation. So I will tell the briefly, you know all these things. The equation 6 carbon dioxide, 12 water molecules gives rise to C6H12O6 plus 6 oxygen molecules and 6 water molecules. So in this, the photosynthesis almost atmospheric carbon dioxide. So ultimately the all living forms on the earth, they can depend on sunlight for the energy. The use of energy from sunlight by plants, they doing photosynthesis is the basis of life on the earth. So it is very important due to two reasons, Nana. It is the primary source of all food on the earth. So it is also responsible for the release of oxygen into the atmosphere. This is the generally, have you ever thought what would happen if there were no oxygen to breathe? We can't imagine. So almost the photosynthesis, it focus on the structure of the photosynthetic machinery and the various reactions that to transform light energy into chemical energy. Okay. So in this generally, let us try to find out what we already know about photosynthesis. So some of the experiments you may have done in the earlier, almost intermediate and degree also completed. So you know that. That means they can, the light and carbon dioxide are required for photosynthesis. And some of the early experiment, the Joseph Priestley, he is famous physiologist, Nana. So he performed a series of experiments that revealed the essential role of air in the growth of the green plants. So these some. This is almost, you know that in the equation, 6 molecules of water plus 6 molecules of carbon dioxide, they can produce 1 molecule of sugar plus 6 molecules of the oxygen. So the diagram of a typical plant, it will showing the inputs and outputs of the photosynthetic process. So what is the main important of the photosynthesis? So let us try to understand after the completion of this topic. And generally, just wait, sir. Okay. So what is the site of photosynthesis? Anyone? Generally, you would of course answer that is in the green leaf, or you may add in the chloroplast also. So that is the site of the photosynthesis in plants. So generally, the based on the you are definitely photosynthesis takes place in the green leaves of the plants, but it does so also in other green parts of the plants. Generally, almost we know that is the leaves are the main source of the photosynthesis. So almost the leaf anatomy, in the leaf anatomy, upper part is the upper epidermis, lower epidermis. In the middle one is the mesophyll tissue. So in that upper epidermis and cuticle are the transparent to light. This allows the most light to pass to the photosynthetic mesophyll tissues. So generally, I will show the diagram. This is the leaf anatomy, Nana. So in this upper part, upper epidermis, and lower is the lower epidermis. In between, the mesophyll tissue also there. The mesophyll also divided into 2 parenchymatous tissue. So in that upper one is the palisade parenchyma, and center part is the spongy parenchymatous tissue. So in this, generally the mesophyll is completely filled with some green chloroplast. So the chloroplast are the main site of the photosynthesis. Okay. So generally within the chloroplast, there is the membranous system. It consisting of grana, the stroma and lamella also presenting in that. So in that some of the fluid stroma. So there is a clear division of labor within the chloroplast. So in the chloroplast, almost 3 or 4 main parts are there. So in that stroma, grana, lamella and fluid stroma. So these all are they can clear division of labor within the chloroplast. So in this, the membrane system is responsible for trapping the light energy and also for the synthesis of ATP and NADPH. So in the coming classes, we'll discuss that the main assimilation power or the power of the ATPs and NADPHs also. So this is the main. In the stroma, some enzymatic reactions, they are incorporate the carbon dioxide into the plant. So it leading to the synthesis of sugar. and which in turn they can form the starch also. So it is the major equation. You know that, Nana, this is the major equation. 6CO2 plus 12H2O, C6H12O6 plus 6 oxygen plus 6 water molecules. So almost these all process in the only the green parts of the plants. So leaves, especially leaves, that is the mechanism of the photosynthesis. Okay, so in this generally the photosynthesis, it will well established that photosynthesis consists of the two phases. So they are the light reaction and second one is the dark reaction. So in the light reaction, almost the light reaction or photochemical reaction. So it's not movable, sir, slides. Okay, so the plants are the only photosynthetic organisms to have the leaves. A leaf may be viewed as a solar collector. So the raw materials of photosynthesis, water and carbon dioxide, enter the cells of the leaf, and the products of the photosynthesis, sugar and oxygen. So this is also one cross section of a leaf. It will showing the anatomical features, the important to the study of the photosynthesis. Almost, as I told you, stroma, grana, and some of the cells, polysac mesophyll tissue and spongy mesophyll tissue, and these all are the main parts of the leaf anatomy. Almost you know that. So the water, so what is the mechanism? Water enters the root and it's transported up to the leaves, the specialized plant cells. So that is known as xylem. Almost the two complex tissues, xylem and phloem, is helpful for the conduction of water and some of the translocation of the organic substances. So in the leaf part, stomata is the structure to allow the gaseous exchange, almost carbon dioxide and water. So the carbon dioxide cannot pass through the protective wavy layer, so it covering the leaf. Almost the leaf upper epidermis, it is surrounded or it is covered with the cuticle layer, thick cuticle layer, so it cannot pass the some parts. So, but it can enter the leaf through an opening of stomata, stroma. So likewise, oxygen produced during the photosynthesis, it can only pass out of the leaf through the opened stomata. Almost the photoactive stomata, that means in the daytime. In photosynthesis, we will discuss in that photosynthesis is completed in two steps, Nana, as I told you. So first is the light phase and second one is the dark phase. So light phase, almost only the photophosphorylation, and what is the concept of the pigment systems, PS1 and PS2. So these all are under the light phase. In the dark phase, so dark phase is the carbon dioxide fixation, CO2 fixation. So in that almost 3 cycles are there, C3 cycle, C4 cycle and A cycle. So in these two ways, almost in the daytime, that is the photosynthetic or photoactive stomatas are there. So they can pass out the leaf through the opened stomata, and these all are in the coming days almost CAM cycle. So that is the photoactive stomatas, we will discuss later. So almost in this way, the site of the photosynthesis is chloroplast. So after that, what is the action and absorption? So very important. You know that, Nana, almost VIBGR. So VIBGR is the 7 colors. So that is the absorption of the light. That is complete nature of the light. In the electromagnetic spectrum, wavelengths between 400 to 700 nanometer is called as photosynthetically active radiation, PAR. So what is PAR? Photosynthetically active radiation. Between what is the which wavelength? You will take it. So almost 380 meters to 750. 380 to 750 or 780 nanometers is called as photosynthetically active radiation. So in this, the light or visible light is the electromagnetic radiation. Almost this is the, in this way, the light is composed of waves of the different lengths, Nana. So different lengths, they are ranging from relatively long waves of the red light through the successively shorter waves to the violet light. So when almost the light passes through glass prism, almost glass prism, it resolves into a band of colors. So that is called visible spectrum. Okay, the visible spectrum is composed of red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. So in reversibly, VIBGR, violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red color. So that is the VIBGR colors. So in this, the what is the wavelength? 350 to 780 nanometers is the PAR, photosynthetically active radiation. So that is the visible to the human eye, and it is responsible for the sense of sight. Okay. So the visible light has wavelength in a range from about 380 nanometers to 740 or 750 nanometers. So in this almost white, its speed in a vacuum 299, 792. Almost this is need not to say here. The almost in the action spectra or in the wavelength, that is energy content is the almost PAR, photosynthetically active radiation. So in this, just you can observe here, that is the absorption of light. So the visible light has a wavelength, range is in between 350 to 780 nanometers. So the energy carried by is inversely proportional to the wavelength of the light. So in this way, almost the electromagnetic spectrum and visible spectrum, when a chlorophyll molecule absorbs a light quantum, so that is in the form of photons. Almost the sunlight is observed, the light is the quantum. So quantum is nothing but, we will call that is the photons in the form of photon. So the light quantum, the molecule is excited. So it is brought from its normal ground state to an excited state of the energy. Almost the white is the separated into the different colors. That means wavelengths of light by passing it through a prism. The energy of is inversely proportional to the wavelength. Longer wavelengths have less energy than do shorter ones. So generally, the light used in photosynthesis, that is the properties of the light used in photosynthesis. You know that observe the light in the form of quantum or photons. So a photon has an energy. It is almost proportional to its frequency. Energy is proportional to frequency. In the equation, E is equal to HF is equal to HC by lambda. So in this, where H is the Planck's constant, lambda is the wavelength, and the C is the speed of the light. So almost as per same, likewise, the momentum of P of a photon is also proportional to its frequency, and it inversely proportional to its wavelength. So for this, almost in 1918, the Planck received the Nobel Prize in the physics for his part in the founding. That is the electromagnetic spectrum and visible spectrum. So this is also almost to the wavelengths: violet to blue, blue, green, yellow, orange. These all are the in the action spectrum. We'll see the different color variation. So the different wavelengths of the light, visible light. So almost in the visible light. Okay. So that is the complete the absorption and action spectrum. The chlorophyll pigments absorb the strongly violet, blue, orange, and red wavelengths, Nana. So which colors? The chlorophyll pigments, they can observe the colors away strongly, violet, blue, orange and red wavelengths, while carotenoids observe only the blue and violet wavelengths. So this is very important. So they can observe the blue and violet wavelengths in vitro. So that when pigments extracted is dissolved in an organic solvent like ether and light rays. So these all are some chlorophyll A also. It will show a maximum absorption at 660 nanometer in the just the chlorophyll is a complex molecule. So coming to the pigments, almost in the photosynthetic pigments, it is completely. So have you ever wondered why how there are so many shades of green in the leaves? So how many pigments are involved in the photosynthesis? Almost how many pigments are involved in the photosynthesis? Majorly 3 nana: chlorophylls, carotenoids and phycobilins. Only 3 are the major pigments. So they are the complete. We can look for almost they are the leaf pigments of any green plant through paper chromatography. So a chromatographic separation of the leaf pigments, it will shows that the color that we see in leaves is not due to a single pigment. So but due to 3 pigments: chlorophylls, chlorophylls, carotenoids and phycobilins. So in the chlorophylls, almost chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, chlorophyll C, chlorophyll D, chlorophyll E. Chlorophyll A, B, C, D, E. So as per same, carotenoids, carotins and xanthophylls, and phycobilins, phycocyanin, phycoerythrin and allophycocyanin. So these all are the pigments. So these pigments are involved in the photosynthesis. So in this way, almost chlorophyll A is look like a bright or blue green in the chromatogram. So the color almost it is look like bright or blue green in the color. Chlorophyll A is the blue green in the color. Chlorophyll B is the yellow green in the color. So it look like yellow green color. And xanthophylls is the yellow color. Carotenoids yellow to yellowish orange color. And almost phycobilins. So they are complete phycocyanin, phycoerythrin. Phycoerythrin is the red color. So it is presenting in the rhodophyceae algae. Phycocyanin is almost blue green in color. It is presenting in the cyanophyceae bacteria. So these completely in this way, almost in the pigments, one question will come from the entrance point of view. What is the molecular structure of the chlorophyll A, B and other pigments? So almost in the degree, you know that chlorophyll A is, I will share. Oh, not open. Okay, Nana. So the chlorophyll A is, if you chlorophyll A, the molecular formula of chlorophyll A is the C55H72O5N4Mg. The molecular formula of the chlorophyll A is the C55H72O5N4Mg. So likewise, chlorophyll B is the C55H70O6N4Mg. So what is the difference between the chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B? You know that almost in the structure, the CHO methyl group is just instead of CH3, CHO is presenting in the chlorophyll B. Okay, so this is the molecular formula, Nana. So the chloroplast, they will contain the pigments like chlorophylls. So chlorophyll A is present. It is universally in all plants. So except green and purple bacteria. So chlorophyll A is presenting in all the plants except some microbacteria, that is green and purple bacteria. So chlorophyll A is, it is a tetrapyrrole having a porphyrin head. So you can observe here, see here, the almost upper part is the head part and almost the chain is the phytal part or tail part. Okay, so it is a tetrapyrrole having a porphyrin head with magnesium in the center. So it is forming a complex structure. The head part is hydrophilic. It is attached to the head. It is a long hydrophobic chain of the terpene alcohol. So that is phytal tail. Almost the upper part is the head part. So that is the hydrophilic part. And it is attached to the long hydrophobic chain. So that is the phytal tail. The completely empirical formula of chlorophyll A, as I told you, C55H72O5N4Mg. So in higher plants, besides chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B is present, as I told you. So chlorophyll B is differ from chlorophyll A by having a formyl group. That means CHO in place of a methyl group CH3. Okay, so in the chlorophyll A, CH3 is presenting. In the chlorophyll B, CHO is present. Okay, so the chlorophyll B is differ from chlorophyll A by having a formyl group. That means CHO in place of methyl group. In which ring, Nana? Almost in the second ring. So almost red dot is in the diagrammatic. You can observe here R. So red dot is put there. That is the second ring of the head part, porphyrin head. So however, chlorophyll B is not essential for photosynthesis. So empirical formula of chlorophyll B is C55H70O6N4Mg. This is the chlorophyll. Chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B. Chlorophyll A is which color? Almost it is blue-green in the color. Look like chlorophyll A is blue-green. Chlorophyll B is the yellow-green. Yellow-green chlorophyll B. And chlorophyll C is presenting in the almost Bacillariophyceae. Chlorophyll E is presenting in the Phaeophyceae. Chlorophyll D is presenting in the Rhodophyceae algae. So in addition to bacterium chlorophyll A, bacterium chlorophyll B, and bacterial chlorophyll 650, bacterial chlorophyll 660. So these 9 chlorophylls are presenting in the, these 9 pigments are involved in the photosynthesis. Okay, so next coming to the carotenoids. In the carotenoids, almost they are found essentially in all green plants. Carotenoids are founding in the all green plants. So while chlorophylls observe the strongly in the red and blue regions. So the chlorophylls, which color is observed the chlorophylls? They are the red and blue. It's very, very important in entrance point of view. Strongly in the red and the blue regions. But the carotenoids observe mostly in the blue as well as in the green regions of the spectrum. So that's why the leaves reflect the green and yellow color. So the carotenoids, they can function as accessory pigments for the photosynthesis. Not that directly, they are the accessory pigments for the photosynthetic process. So they are also required for protecting photosynthetic pigments from the destructive photooxidation. So that occurs in the presence of light and oxygen. The carotenes, they can contain the carbon and hydrogen, while xanthophylls contain the oxygen besides carbon and hydrogen. So in this, almost the what is the molecular structure, molecular formula of the Carotenoids. So in the keratin is C40H55 nano. Keratin molecular formula is C40H55. So as per same, xanthophyll C40H56O2. This is the xanthophyll molecular formula. C40H56O2 is the xanthophyll molecular formula. So this is the almost keratins. Keratins, they can contain the carbon and hydrogen. So the empirical formula of beta carotene is C40H56. So in that beta carotene, C40H56 and lutein is a xanthophyll. It present abundantly in plants. So it is the molecular formula is C40H56O2. This is the almost the lutein. So keratins, alpha keratin, beta keratin, luteins, these all are some types of the carotenoids. So in that beta keratin is C40H56 and lutein is the C40H56O2. This is the complete carotenoids. And phycocyanins, almost as I told you that phycocyanins is divided into phycocyanin, phycoerythrin and allophycocyanin. They are the presenting in the allophycocyanin is it is protein. So it is common in all the photosynthetic plants, in all the green plants. And phycocyanin is presenting in the blue-green algae. Phycoerythrin is presenting in the red algae. So these all are some pigments. The pigments are involved in the photosynthesis. Okay. So and coming to the what is the, just wait. So this is the almost that structure of chloroplast. We'll discuss in earlier. The thylakoid is the structural unit of photosynthesis. So both the photosynthetic prokaryotes and eukaryotes have these flattened sacs or vesicles. They can containing the photosynthetic chemicals. Only eukaryotes have chloroplast with a surrounding membranes. So thylakoids are stalked like pancages in stalks. They are known now collectively as grana. So the areas between grana are referred to as stroma. While the mitochondrion has two membrane systems, the chloroplast has forming three compartments. So this is just a comparison of the functions. And what is the main functions of the chloroplast? So you know that almost these cellular organs are the main sites of the photosynthesis. So what is the main site of photosynthesis? We'll discuss that. That is the cellular organs or chloroplast are the main sites of the photosynthesis in which both light and dark reactions are found. So in the very first point, almost the photosynthesis is completed in two phases, light and dark phases. So the photosynthesis, it is completely, the cellular organs are the main sites of the photosynthesis in the light and dark reactions. So the light reactions takes place in the grana region, whereas dark reactions takes place in the stroma region. So the light reactions all are occur in the grana part or grana area, and dark reactions like C3, C4, CAM cycles. So these all are takes place in the stroma region. The chloroplast, it is capable for some amount of protein synthesis, so which is used in the structural organization and some photosynthetic enzymes. So they also synthesize in the chloroplast. So chloroplast has its own genetic system. So the almost we know that they are the partially auto cell organelles. So they are the DNA and participates in the cytoplasmic inheritance also. This is the complete the structure of or functions of the chloroplast. And almost we are entering into the topic that is stages of the photosynthesis.
Remaining topic we'll discuss tomorrow because of only 2 minutes are left.
Okay, sir. Okay, no problem.
So participants, my dear friends, if you have any doubts, today's class So, madam,
Please.
wonderfully. Madam, please stop your screen.
Okay.
Right. So,
Okay, sir.
రైట్ మేడం. ఇప్పుడు మీకు సంబంధించి ఇవాళ టుడేస్ సో ఎనీ డౌట్ రిగార్డింగ్ ఆఫ్ టుడేస్ క్లాస్ ఫోటోసింథసిస్, ఈక్వేషన్ ఆఫ్ ది ఫోటోసింథసిస్ అండ్ స్ట్రక్చర్ ఆఫ్ ది క్లోరోప్లాస్ట్ అండ్ డార్క్ రియాక్షన్స్. ఓకే, సో రిమైనింగ్ టుడేస్ టాపిక్, ఇఫ్ యూ హ్యావ్ ఎనీ డౌట్ మై డియర్ ఫ్రెండ్స్, ప్లీజ్ ఆస్క్ అవర్ రెస్పెక్టెడ్ మేడం. సో మేడం ఈజ్ రెడీ టు క్లారిఫై యువర్ డౌట్స్. ఓకే, otherwise madam will going to stop today's class and remaining topic we'll discuss tomorrow sharp 3 p.m. okay my dear friends, no doubt?
Okay, sir. Any doubt?
My dear friends,
Anyone? Almost these students are my students only.
Harika, Manjula, Nishvita.
Yes, sir.
Okay, regarding of today's class, Harika, have you any doubts?
Yes, sir.
Harika,
No doubt, sir.
BTBC. Okay,
No
very good.
doubt, sir.
Very good. Tomorrow also, Jen, and 4 o'clock remaining, my dear friends. 4 o'clock also we have a session by eminent personality. Okay, Dr. A. Shailaja Madam Garu will take the session. My dear friends, rejoin at sharp 4 p.m.
Okay, sir.
Right.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Madam, really
Giving
wonderful, madam. Your explanation is very clear. Your voice is very clear, and explanation is also wonderful. Thank you, madam. Tomorrow sharp 3 p.m.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, no problem. Tomorrow is very అంటే మనకి ఇంట్లో ఉంటాను కాబట్టి ఇంక ఈ రోజు కాలేజ్ లో ఉన్నాను సార్. త్రూ మొబైల్ జస్ట్ ఐఎమ్ నాట్ ఏబుల్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్ సమ్.
If possible, if possible, tomorrow you utilize your laptop.
Okay, sir. Okay, sure.
Right, madam. Thank you.
Okay.